Hey guys, welcome to the video. Thanks for joining today. I'm gonna do my initial impressions video on the Altra Torin 9. I'm very excited about this version. I wanted to talk a little bit about my history with Torins and why I'm so excited about the new version. I have been a long-time Altra Torin user. I like the zero drop shoes. I made a conversion back in 2010-ish to allow myself to run in zero drop shoes. I've run in several versions of the Torin over the years. I think I ran in the Torin 1.5. I actually found it clunky and heavy, but then I ran in version 4, 4.5, 6, 7, 8, and now I've got 9. When I went to version 4, they were using still an EVA midsole. It was 26 millimeters of stack height, but I found it worked pretty good for me. Then when they went to the version 4.5, they used what they called a Quantic midsole, which I actually pretty well liked, but they increased the stack height to 28 millimeters. Really liked that shoe. It was nice and soft and comfortable. When they went to the Torin 5, they went to the Ego Max midsole, but again, they were still at a 28 millimeter stack height. Found that worked well for me. I didn't find it as really bouncy for picking up the pace, but it was still very comfortable and responsive enough because the stack height wasn't real high that it worked well for me for a lot of miles. The same with the 6, I know well over 400 miles in Torin 6. Then the Torin 7 came out and they decided to take that Ego Max midsole and make it higher. They went from 28 millimeters up to 30. And I actually found it too squishy soft because you would squish down in the foam and it didn't have enough rebound to jump back. And that's the way I felt about the 8. This is the Torin 8. I was really falling out of love with the Torins, decided I wasn't going to buy another pair. And then they announced the changes they were making to the Torin 9. It actually answered to most of my concerns. They updated the midsole. Instead of being the Ego Max, which I found a little too soft and squishy and not responsive enough, they went to using the P35 midsole material that they used in their Flow 2 and Flow 3 4 millimeter drop shoes. I had said that the Flow 3 was like my favorite shoe from Altra in several years because I found that foam pretty bouncy and lightweight. They've now put that compound in the Torin, so I'm really looking forward to why I'm enjoying it so far. It definitely, you still got some softness, but it bounces back. It's got some response to it. This one, it doesn't feel quite as soft as the Flow 3 because they have gone to, they call it P35X. They've made it a dual density midsole, so it's got an outer rim of a little bit firmer composition of that foam, and then the inner part is soft, so it's real soft and bouncy. It definitely has enough response to where it's much better than the Torin 7 or 8. It's a nice but very hot day to be out shoe testing. I think we're probably right now in the low 90s, probably feels over 100 because of the humidity. But still pretty day, the sun's out. Tiny hint of breeze every once in a while. Anyway, I'm enjoying the Altra Torin 9s, getting to test them out for today. 28 to me. And they dropped it from 30 millimeters down to 28, which I also think helps the responsiveness. One of the other changes they made, well, the upper is a little slightly more breathable, I think. They made some changes to the heel. I actually think it cups your heel area a little better. It fits really nice and good through there. I think the profile of the shoe in general just looks a little lower and sleeker, but so far I haven't found any negatives. One thing that is strange to me is the space between the eyelet holes from right to left is very wide. It hasn't caused me any problems though so far. I've been able to tighten down and there's enough lace to do that. It uses up enough lace that I'm not sure there's enough room really to use the runner's knot unless you're pulling it tighter, but I haven't needed to. I've locked down so well through the heel and the midfoot that I haven't needed the runner's knot at all. So I've actually been very comfortable in the shoe. The 28 millimeter stack height, I'm finding it's still well cushioned, but it gives me some more response along with that new polyolefin elastomer midsole material they're using. And then one of my other concerns I had with Torins was usually that the Altra rubber would actually wear out fairly quickly, but they have gone to using a Vibram outsole. It's a special version. It's called SS Dura from Vibram. It's specifically made for road. I can tell it's very sticky because when I walk around the store, the running store, it squeaks, but it does grip really well, and I have a feeling with a Vibram outsole it's going to last longer. So I'm very happy about that. Weight-wise, they actually dropped a little weight. In a men's size 9, the old Torin 8 weighed 10.15 ounces or 288 grams. This one weighs in at 9.8 ounces or 267 grams, so it definitely shaves some weight. This is my men's size 11 and a half. I'm getting 294 grams in it, or 9.9 ounces. That follows along because, wow, that's actually pretty good. Oh, I didn't do it right. 10.3 ounces. So you do add about half an ounce going up from a size 9 to a size 11 and a half, which actually is pretty good. Real often I see shoes go up an ounce in that size, up in my size. Anyway, so far I have done about 20 miles in these. I've run 2 4-mile runs, and then I've actually walked the rest. I've been having a little bit of trouble and a lot of trouble in the heat, so I'm actually doing probably more walking than running, but they did feel good. You could definitely tell there's some rebound there. Really liking the shoes so far. Another thing they did that I think is cool is that it's all knit on the back side of the tongue. There's breathing holes here, but it's all knit, so this shoe should be really good for wearing barefoot, which is also one of the changes they've made in the new Escalante. They've made it better for barefoot running. So those of you who like to run barefoot, this should feel better. I don't really run barefoot, so I'm not noticing that big a difference. It's still pretty moderately cushioned around the tongue, around the heel, maybe even a little bit more than it needs. It's got a little bit of firmness to the heel counter, but I will say even that Vibram outsole is fairly thick. I would say it's probably a couple millimeters thick, so I definitely think it's going to last a good while. As far as shoes that I will do some comparisons to, I will definitely I want to get it up first to 50 miles, so I feel like I can do a better comparison, but I will definitely compare it to the Altra Torin 8. Like my feelings on the differences there. I will compare it to the Altra Escalante. I've still got version 4. They come out with 5. I don't know if I will buy 5 or not, but comparing it to 4 should still be pretty much the same because they really didn't change the midsole or the outsole. They did add a little extra rubber to the outsole of the 5, which I think is good because that'll make it more durable as well. But it's still a very breathable upper, still about the same fit. They did change the tongue to where it'll be a little bit softer if you want to wear them barefoot, but that's pretty much it. It was an upper change, and I think it looks really nice, but that's really the only changes to the Escalante 5. Another shoe I will do a comparison eventually with this shoe is the Experience Flow 3. I think it'll be a pretty good comparison in that they both use the P35 compound in their foam, and they both have 28 millimeters of stack height in the forefoot. Now in this case, it's 28 in the forefoot, 28 in the heel, whereas the Flow 3 is 28 in the forefoot, 32 in the heel. But it should be a pretty good comparison. And then the last shoe I plan to really compare the Altra Torin 9 to is I will definitely do a comparison to the Topo Magnifly 6. A lot of things that are equivalent with them. They both have nice breathable uppers. They're both 0 drop. The Torin is a 28 millimeter stack height. The Magnifly 6 is a 26 millimeter stack height. The Topo has pretty good outsole rubber. They've actually said they've made it more durable, but my last pair of these went 450 miles anyway, so Maybe it'll be, I don't know if it'll be quite as durable as the Vibram outsole on the Altra, but it should be a good comparison. And when I weigh it in a men's size 9, I'm getting 10 ounces. So it is like 0.3 of an ounce less. So they actually even weigh very comparable. Anyway, so I think those will be good comparisons coming up. So if you're interested in watching the comparisons, please consider hitting the thumbs up, the like button. If you like my content, please consider subscribing to my channel. It'll be a little bit before I get there because I want to get up to where I've done at least 50 miles in the shoes before I start comparing them to others. But within probably 3 weeks or so, I'll start doing some of the comparisons. Anyway, I hope you had a great day and keep moving.